Overnight, we had about the biggest leak for Warhammer, at least 30K, we've ever seen, which I guess there's not a lot of 30K that comes out, so that makes a lot of sense. But this is a big deal, as last year we were reporting that Horus Heresy would be getting a new edition. I got a lot of comments saying, "Oh no, there's no sign of that. Nobody's ever said anything about that." Turns out we were right. I do have a insider who does send me some things sometimes, and I love that I get these inside news. We've got it for Doctor Who as well, and honestly, we verify our sources, and because of that, we have always had a good track record here on the channel. Even though a lot of other channels just make up their leakers, we don't do that here. I appreciate you guys for supporting us and for checking this out. Let's get into this Horus Heresy news that just dropped. Really interesting stuff. And Games Workshop seems to have like a preemptive reaction to it too, because they got a little mad, it looks like. Let's check things out. Please hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about all things Warhammer, 30K and 40K. Horus Heresy is great. Honestly, the best Black Library fiction comes from the Horus Heresy era. If you've not read it, start with the first book there and just read, because it's some of the best science fiction I've ever read in my whole life, and that's what I love to do. I don't play the miniatures games because I don't like to assemble and paint things. And so I did Warcry for a bit because it was skirmish and you didn't have to build that many of them, but this is a lot. And so if somebody wants to paint all of these for me, I'll play it. That's what I'll say all the time. But that's an aside. Oh my gosh, yes. I gave up on Warhammer a long time ago. But the new edition, at least of 40K, was not so great. I wonder what's going to happen here. We'll talk about that in a second, too. I'm rambling now. I'm excited because leaks are fun, and this is a fun day. So please hit the like and subscribe button, guys. I'm a science fiction writer myself. If you like the Horus Heresy stuff, I think you'll enjoy Justified Saga of the Nano-Templar. This is crusading in space, not a grimdark setting. I don't really do grimdark as a writer, but it is a lot of fun action-adventure, and if I know you guys like that. So check it out in the description below. This is a full trilogy, which you'll enjoy. And yes, space crusading, science fiction, fun, action, all for you. So check it out. It is available on ebook, print, and audio. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, like I said, I'm excited, and so I've been rambling. I was just thinking about X-Wing, too. Like, that game I loved so much, again, because I didn't have to paint or assemble anything. I am that lazy. It is what it is. But whatever. Yes, I can't see myself going in on this unless you guys beg me to, I guess. But I think a lot of people, at least in these circles, are probably tepid on a new edition anyway. And that's because the newest edition of Warhammer 40K really watered down the game, kind of made it lame. And, of course, there's been a lot of grumblings on the internet about that. And there's grumblings about this already, too, because if they change Horus Heresy and do what, kind of nuke it again, this is not going to make a lot of longtime fans happy. And Horus Heresy really is much more of a niche game. This came out a lot later than Warhammer 40K. And so when they came out with this as its own game, only really a lot of the diehards who were into the lore and into the Black Library stuff went in on this, because this is like really just getting into the nitty-gritty of the setting, right? And so this is something that really only appeals to hardcore fans, which is why people were saying that this was not going to get a relaunch, that Games Workshop was not going to be making a new Horus Heresy edition, and they turned out to be wrong. So we, again, broke this last year that they would be doing this, and I'm very happy to have that confirmed now from some actual images that got leaked overnight. So this is what's happening right here. This is a group called Saturnine, and if you don't know exactly what that is, Saturnine actually was a sort of fan thing, I guess, in some ways. I mean, it did exist in the Warhammer 40K lore, but it was something that these big shoulder pads on the units here that are just huge things right here. Was all made by like 3D printers, and they called it, and they assumed that's what the Saturnine was. So this is actually kind of a fan nod in a way, which is kind of cool. I kind of like this kind of thing. I give credit where credit's due. I love it. I came from the old Legend of the Five Rings RPG. I know I'm naming all these old games that are so niche at this point. I'm losing people, but whatever. in Legend of the Five Rings, that what made it special is AEG, the company, actually took a lot of fan input and actually made fans into characters in the game, and of course fans would play games at conventions and all that, and they'd actually write it into their storyline and the like. It was really cool, very difficult to manage, and I was a part of that for a little bit back then. But this is a cool thing. I think it's cool. I've seen some people criticizing this, saying that, like, oh, if they're going to start taking fan stuff, that's a bad direction. I personally think that's a good thing. I think you want to engage people, and you want to make your product interactive and actually care about what the people who play the game do. I think that's a good thing as a company, which is rare for Games Workshop. They usually do the quite opposite of this, right? So they're based off the Rogue Trader Terminator armor, which is now dubbed Saturnine. And again, the giant shoulder pads were fan-made, and that's what we got now. So this leak showed up. It's obviously a courier of some sort. You can see there's a bunch of different boxes. So this person has a ton of them, not just one. So it's going somewhere. And $500 if you want to buy this. Oh, my gosh. I hope that's not going to be the price on this, because this is dead on arrival if it's a $500 box set, even though it's got a ton of stuff in it, I can tell. But you can see that he got this out here to Age of Darkness, Saturnine right here. It's Horus Heresy. It's 3.0. This is the new starter box. Very cool art on it. I think it looks awesome. And you can see the back here. The galaxy burns. War Master Horus has betrayed the Emperor of Mankind and plunged the Imperium into civil war. And you can see all these units here. I doubt this all is coming in this box set. It looks like this is a second faction over here. Maybe there'll be a second box set over there on that level. But gosh, this is what we get out of this, the Saturnine Dreadnought. I mean, credit where credit's due. This looks pretty badass. I love it. And so then you've got your Saturnine Praetor with an epic hammer here. Pretty cool stuff. You've got the Saturnine Terminator, Mark II Tactical Marine, and Mark II Veterinary Legionary. And then there's something else kind of in the corner there I can't quite make out. It's a little too grainy. I can't tell what it is. So at least those units are included in here. You get a I guess, starter booklet and some templates. We'll see what else comes with this when we get a better sort of representation of what's inside, which I'm sure will come at some point. Somebody's going to buy. I guarantee you somebody's going to buy this for $500 just to leak it all on YouTube and show everything off. Somebody made a comment, it's going to take 400 years to paint all this, and that's exactly why I just kind of am not into it. So painful. And yes, it will take 400 years to paint all this. So interesting stuff that got leaked. Obviously, this is the big deal that there's a 3.0 edition of Horus Heresy confirmed. And Warhammer, at least Warhammer Open, seemed to react to this, and they get their information from Games Workshop, so it's all tied in. And so I think they knew that this leak was coming, that they knew that this was going to be coming out there. And this is what happened. They said, important update about the Warhammer Open Dallas. With some changes to the preview schedule, we're shifting the Thursday night activity from a preview night to an epic game night, and hopefully starting a new tradition for years to come. So instead of doing previews of new models, which I guess was going to be what this was, right? And this seems maybe these would have been there, literally going to that, because $500 shows America, right? And Dallas is in America. So I think this was going to get showed off at this event right here. And I think they changed the event because it's already leaked online, so there's really no reason to. So to me, this is Games Workshop reacting to the leak. Now, this did post ahead of the leak. So, could just be coincidental timing. I could just be making things up right now. But I do think that they understood that a leak was coming, and therefore they are reacting to it because of that. That's my thoughts here. Now, some people were saying that this leak is just a promotional marketing tool. Possible, if we're gonna venture into conspiracy land here, possible. But Wokehammer L says he's spoken to Games Workshop employees. He's friends with a few, ranging from local store staff to workers at WHW. Games Workshop doesn't create fake leaks. It doesn't pay Valrac or other rumor channels. It's universally hated when a leak happens, and it's getting harder and harder to control leaks and things like that with the internet and all that these days. So I do think it's probably just a legitimate, real leak, and I do think that they're probably annoyed by it, and this is probably their reaction, being annoyed by it. But it's interesting stuff right here. Now, like I said, I love the Horus Heresy setting. I think this is my favorite for Warhammer and the like. But we'll see what happens with this rule set, what they're going to do with this, because this is a new edition. And fans did not react well to the new edition of 40K. So we'll see what happens on this level. Now, Horus Heresy always has a lot slower of releases. That's also what tempts me on this, because I don't like. I'm a completionist when I get into stuff too, and so I tried to keep up with Warhammer 40K for a second, and oh my god, it was a disaster. So with this, this is a tempting thing because they do come out slower. But again, I don't know. I don't want to paint stuff. I don't. What do you guys think? Are you going to get in on this? Or are you done with Games Workshop because of all the drama over the last year? Let me know in the description below. Love to hear from you. Please hit the like and subscribe button. And if you like great science fiction with space crusading as a theme and some fun, grab Justified Saga: The Nano Templar. It's in the description below. Get the whole trilogy today, ebook, print, or audio. See you soon.